Greetings folks, and I hope you're under starter's orders wherever you are in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another episode of, well, we sort of adopted the name Versus, but it's essentially, for those who've seen the channel before, Versus tends to be when we put two very similar 1/6 scale action figures together, normally the same character, to find out which one wins. We've done it on numerous occasions, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's not two 1/6 scale action figures, oh no, it's three 1/6 scale motorbikes to find out which one is the Mr. Go Figure 1/6 scale motorbike champion, in my collection at least anyway. So who are we going to be looking at? Well, first up on the grid, we've got the Hot Toys Tron Legacy Light Cycle. An old one this, but still a gold in my opinion. That's the first contender. The second one, we have BM Projects, Bandai and Medicom. Their take on Tetsuo's bike from the classic 80s manga which changed the face of animation, which is Akira. And up against those two, we have Pure Art's take on the Yaba Kusanagi, that amazing bike from the seminal masterpiece that is Cyberpunk 2077, the video game. So that's the runners and riders on the grid, but we will be going for 3 laps. We will have lap 1, which will be an up close and personal with all the runners and riders. Lap 2, where we decide who the winner is. And lap 3, where we have the usual showcase at the end, so we can enjoy all 3 of them. But before we dive in, I would like to send a Yamaha size shout out to everyone who supported the channel. And please, drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale action figure news, reviews, tours, previews, showcases, and all that other good stuff. So without further ado, let's dive in and meet the first of our runners and riders. Okay folks, so in pole position on our grid today, it is BM Projects, aka Bandai and Medicom, and their take on Tetsuo's bike from the groundbreaking anime based on the manga that is Akira. If you are a fan of manga and anime and you haven't caught this already, I suggest rushing off immediately, stop watching this and go and catch it immediately. It is it's the movie that changed animation, or the way we understood animation. But enough of my gushing on the source material. Let's talk about Popinica herself. Now, 2 versions of this, as I mentioned before. You've got the original version, which was released in 2010, and you've got this version, the revival version, released in 2021. And I still think it is a stunning piece of work today. I think it still holds up today. Normally we will be free floating with the camera at this point, but Mr. Go Figure is going to need both hands just to manipulate this thing. We will let the camera wander when we go in for our final decision at the end and in the showcase as well. But let's take a look at this thing. And the first thing you notice about this is just the sheer weight of this colossal piece. It's a mixture of plastic and die cast, and there is a shit ton of die cast going on in here. It is an incredibly hefty piece. I think the second thing you notice is this stunning red paint job. Now, the screen accuracy is there in spades for those who know the source material. Absolutely nailed on. This design, which has been it's been copied and it has influenced many a cyberpunk motorcycle, as we'll see with the Yaba Kusanagi. But yeah, straight away it's this super high gloss red paint application. Now I'm going to put it back down so we can just show some of the features on here. I am going to say my one complaint about this bike from the get-go is the ineffectual kickstand, which you've got on the bottom here, which really should be a lot more substantial than this, and the thing has a tendency to topple over. And then you've got this circular section here, which is supposed to fit onto this, so it'll hold it upright, but it more than often just wobbles off and falls off. So it's not the best of kickstands and supporting solutions, but Really, that is my only complaint. Let's take a wander around. Let's just take a look at this thing in profile. Straight away, you have got solid rubber wheels on this thing. And they are immense. They really, really are. They're heavy, they rotate, the wheels rotate both front and back. And then you've got these caps that cover the front hub caps that cover the wheels themselves. Now, I will say as well, nearly 90% of everything you see on this motorcycle comes off or comes away. We will take a look at the stripped down version. And you've got pieces that are attached by magnets on the sides here. As you can see, yeah, you've got that magnetic section that clips in there. And underneath, you can see this super high gloss silver finish on the mechanical portions underneath. I'm going to try and flip this guy around. We're going to take off this cover as well. Same story on this side. This one is super heavy because it's got that metal magnet in it. But once again, you can see that that beautiful work there. Now, plastic sections. This section is die cast. You've got plastic here. You've got die cast in the center and a mixture of plastic. Overall, there's a mixture of both materials used, but it just works really, really well. These hubcaps magnetically attached. As I say, we're going to see the stripped down version at the end here. But underneath, this needs a clean actually. It's not been cleaned for a while, but once it's polished up, this is super, super high gloss. And this, as you can probably hear, is plastic, but there are metal sections in here which are cold to the touch as well. Moving up, the canopy. This amazing canopy, I've got to say, is really, really well done. The stickers on here now, aficionados of Akira will know that the thing was covered in stickers. These aren't actually stickers. Lesser companies would have applied these as stickers. These are actually part of the paint and printing process of the bike itself, which means they ain't going to peel over time, they're not going to fade, they're not going to rip or tear. I think it's a brilliant solution. The canopy itself, these sections removed too, and underneath you are greeted with the working portions of the bike. There is a sort of semi-functioning suspension system on the front there. As you can see, those pistons, these sections here moving up and down. You've got a mixture of metal and plastic going on in the insides, and the attention to detail here I really, really cannot stress enough. Absolutely phenomenal. If the light's catching this, you can see inside there the detailing has continued throughout, and this is a masterpiece of engineering and construction from BM and Bandai. Well, BM Projects, Bandai, and yeah, they've done a phenomenal job here. The steering column here, you've got a full right and left movement going on in the steering as well, and you've got, as I say, you've got that little bit of give in the suspension at the front there. Front wheel moves as well as the back wheel here. These covers come off, all the covers come off to reveal that beautifully detailed work underneath there. And overall, it is a stunning piece of kit. Plastic seat in there, which clips in place, the right color, it's that sort of deep brown. Let's get on to the detailing inside this canopy. And this is where things get really, really interesting. If I can get the camera to focus on here, maybe just swing this light out a little bit more, and move this guy back a little bit. The detailing on the inside here, you've got the sat nav going on, you've got all kinds of buttons and digital readouts. The actual handles themselves, they're rubber over the plastic steering column. You've got the digital readout in the center as well. On the sides of the canopy, you've got the rear view lights, rear view mirrors rather, which you can see here on this removed section, and you've even got indicator lights as well in there. Absolutely incredible. If I just pop this back section off here, this is where you really get an idea of the attention to detail. You've got functioning lights in the back that we will get to, the brake lights. This whole system here, this whole section is metal and runs down to runs through the whole casing, the chassis almost. I can't emphasize how heavy this is as well. It's hurting my hands holding this guy. Monstrous piece of work, absolutely superb. As you can see in the background there, we've got the Akira and Tetsuo figures to go with this. Just a pity actually that the build quality on those isn't quite up to the same build quality on the bike here, but I think we should take a look at this stripped down. But before we do, let's actually just pop these pieces back on, because there's a feature on here, and I've got the wrong side there. I have a tendency to getting these pieces back on. It seems simple, but I'm going to put this guy down, and we're going to plonk all these bits back on, so you can just see the light up features here as well. So really simple putting these pieces back on. Sometimes they can drop off a little bit. Said he dropping that piece, got to be super careful. But we will attach all the relevant parts, and that clips in the back there. We'll pop the rear back on, and that's pretty much your lot. So let's just take a look at the light up features. So underneath here, if the light's catching it, there is a button, and underneath this section right on the bottom here, there is a press button battery flap, 3 AAA batteries in there, and you're good to go. This button here, if the light's catching it, fits to 3 settings. First setting in the middle is completely off. First setting to the right, and you are greeted with just the light up effects. Now there are also sound effects with this. Now, regulars to the channel will know, and it's also worth mentioning here, I've actually done full reviews of all the bikes that you see. They're all up on the channel, so if you're wanting to see these guys in a little bit more detail, check out the homepage. But yeah, the first set of lights, the first setting on that switch. Now, under this harsh LED light, you're probably not going to see it quite as well, but you will see it in the showcase at the end when we dim the lights a little bit. You get these green LEDs on the inside of the wheels themselves. They look phenomenal. Haven't faded over the years. They look beautiful. Screen accurate, absolutely on point. You get the indicator lights on the canopy itself that they light up too. You've got a light at the front, and I'll try and swing this guy around. You've got a white LED headlight at the front there, and you can alter the settings on that. You can have that dip down so it's not visible, or it actually, what it does do, which creates a great effect, when you dip it down, it actually comes out underneath the canopy here and illuminates the top of the wheel, which is a really nice effect. Those green LEDs are continued in the front wheel as well. We'll flip it round to the side here, and you can just see that this LED is lit up, but they're not too bright on those orange indicators. Those will be seen better in the dark, and also you get the brake lights as well. But the great thing is it also illuminates the interior as well. So that sat nav that we looked at, that is all lit up in blue. Those buttons are lit up in blue. The center console is all illuminated, as is this readout in between the handlebars as well. Now, as I say, don't look too bright in these lights, just wait till you see it later on when we dim the lights. So that is BM Projects' take on Akira's bike from on Tetsuo's bike rather, from Akira. And I've got to say, I still think this is a phenomenal piece of work from the company. It's an iconic bike. It's influenced a generation, and I think it's just an amazing piece of engineering, an amazing feat of work. But is it a worthy winner? Well, we need to see the rest of the runners and riders, so on to the next. But before we move on to the next, Mr. Go Figure almost completely forgot the sound effects. We need to hear the sound effects, so let's just flip this switch to the left, which all the way over to the left, and we have the sound effects. Now, regulars to the channel will know I'm not a big one for light up features and sound effects, but here I will make an exception just because they've been that well done. You flip it to the left, and you get front and you get brake pedal and accelerator pedal actuated sounds. Great feature, this one. You get a braking effect with the brake pedal. With the accelerator pedal, you get this effect. And I've got to say, I really do like that. It brings out the child in me. It's not something I would normally celebrate in a 1/6 scale figure or vehicle, but I think it's just done so well here. And as you can see, the indicator lights flash as well. So yeah, you've got all those sound effects to play with, and there's a multitude of them going on if you fiddle around with these pedals. There's braking, use the accelerator. Yeah, it's not just the one sound effect. So there you have it, folks. That is BM Projects' take on Popinica when it decides to go quiet. On to the next. So next on the grid, pun intended, it is Sam Flynn, son of Kevin Flynn, aka Jeff Bridges, from the 2010 sequel to Tron Legacy. Now this is the only bike that comes replete with figure, 1/6 scale. Well, it's not technically a figure, it does have some moving parts, but on the whole it's pretty much static and on the bike. But yeah, this is the oldest figure on the grid today. Yeah, it is. This was released in 2012. Yeah, it's that old, folks, but I still think it is a stupendous piece of work from Hot Toys here. And finding it is like finding chicken's teeth. Not the easiest thing in the world. But we will have a look round. And what makes this thing so special? Well, unlike the Akira bike that we just looked at, the vast majority of the work in this particular piece is actually plastic, so it comes in a lot lighter, although when you laden it with the batteries to make it light up and make the motor spin, it does come in a little bit heavier, but overall a lot more plastic going on. But let's have a quick once over with this thing. As with the Akira bike, you have rubber tires going on, and they do move, as you can see, and they've got that futuristic pattern on the front there, which is in keeping with the movie itself. The actual paint applications are the next thing that sort of strike me about this. And yes, this is an older piece, and it's got that super high gloss finish pretty much all over that is in keeping with Tron Legacy and the light cycle itself. Super reflective. This one, with it being black, is prone to micro scratches. Now, a subscriber was kind enough to recommend a product which will actually buff out those micro scratches, which I have managed to get my hands on since first doing a review of this piece, although I haven't got around to actually buffing some of those micro scratches out. But yeah, it still holds up today. That super high gloss reflective finish going on. Screen accuracy is there in spades. If you do spot any micro scratches there, trust me, they will be going eventually. But overall, yeah, proportions are right, and the look is absolutely fantastic. But let's take a look at some of the detailing here. So you've got that all-in-one casing that wraps around Sam when he's on the bike, but that does come off. So you can actually take the figure off if you're wanting to do that and swap out arms and legs. There is a swap out arm and leg. The leg acts as a kickstand on this side, I believe it is. I don't tend to display them that way. You also get an arm that comes away from the handlebars, which can hold a spare disc, which comes as an accessory. I don't tend to go for that look. I prefer the sort of this look, the super fast, I'm in motion look. I just think it adds to the overall look. But yeah, you've got moving parts on this particular piece. These flaps, these air brakes come out at either side, as you can see here. I have to be a bit careful with those, but they're on pistons. They are plastic pistons, and I'll see if we can get the light in there so you can see the detailing. Lovely detailing on the inside there from Hot Toys here, and they just clip back into place if you're not wanting to go for that look. I prefer the smooth look with this piece. The wheels themselves, obviously, they're all built in to the piece itself, but you do get the exposed wheels at the bottom there, and also on the bottom there you've got the battery compartment. Tiny little micro screw there. Lift this thing off, and you pop in 3 AAA batteries, and you're good to go with the light up features and the moving motor. And there's a little micro switch there as well, which activates those features. The inside of the tyres is done with this beautifully sort of almost like a matte metallic finish going on in there, and then you've got these plastic sections running around the sides of each of the wheels, which light up with the light up feature that we're going to take a look at. And there are plenty of light up features going on here. The handlebars, beautifully sculpted in plastic. The silver detailing picked out on the front there alongside the LED sections. Around this side, let's swing him round. Pretty much the same story. You've got that clear plastic section in the centre of the chassis there, which exposes the motor, and then you've got the flashes on the sides here as well. But really, it's when this piece is lit up. Now, as regulars to the channel will know, Mr. Go Figure is not a big one for his light-up features, as I mentioned before. But I think for its age, Hot Toys has done a cracking job, and somehow I managed to find the correct batteries. There are button cell batteries involved in this piece, so warnings. Regulars to the channel will know my feelings on those, but three settings on the bottom here. You've got the off setting, you've got the next setting, and this switch is so small, you really need to get your fingernail in there. But the first setting, the up setting there, activates all the lights on the bike itself, and it activates that rotating motor on the inside. Bit noisy, you can probably hear that as it spins, and it's not something, not a feature I use because the motor does sound like it's not the most substantial in the world and would probably give up the ghost if you used it on a regular basis. But that's there if you want it. The other setting, the down setting on this minuscule switch, just gives you the lights. Now that is the feature that I will probably use the most. Now, as you can see, the LEDs in the rims at the back light up and at the front look spectacular. Super bright white LEDs. You get a slightly less bright LED running down the center of that back wheel there. You get the flash up the side of the canopy itself, that back section which flips over, that lights up as well. You get this flash down the side, which sort of corresponds with that one on the back section there, and it just gives it that beautiful flow, as you can see there, that LED line flowing all the way up through and then round the back as well. It gives it that sense of speed and that screen accuracy. There are more LEDs here. Yes, folks, there are more. Now I'm going to need a pair of tweezers for this. Let's bring in the tweezers. And I've got to say, yeah, it is a proper ball ache with the button cell batteries on this one. You've got a set that go in the back here, underneath the disc on his back, and a set that go in the helmet as well. We'll take the head off just so you can see those, and so we can actually take a quick look at the Garrett Hedlund head sculpt if this will come off. You get a separate unhelmeted head sculpt if you're wanting to use that, but I can't really see the point myself. Let's activate the lights in this helmet so we can see that that head sculpt a little bit better. Button cell batteries go in the back here, tiniest of compartments, and as always, a proper nightmare getting them in. Tiny little micro switch there, throw that, and the helmet itself lights up. You get a light on the top there, and you get some downward light coming in to highlight the head sculpt as well. But overall, let's just get this under the light here. Actually swing this light around a little bit so we've got some more light here. And yeah, I think that is, for its age, that is an excellent Garrett Hedlund head sculpt, as is the unhelmeted version. So you could use either. I prefer this one, but yeah, for its age, skin tones, skin textures, the likeness is there, the eyes are nice and glassy, and I think they've done a cracking job. But I leave the helmet on, so back to the bike itself. Let's pop that helmet back up. Well, before we do that, actually, let's activate the other light up feature on this piece. Now, I don't know whether the camera's picking this up, but the world's smallest switch there, in between his shoulder blades at the back. And if I can get the tweezers in there and just flip that switch, and there you go. What you also get, and they're not the brightest in the world, probably won't be picked out very well under these bright white LEDs. You'll see it more in the showcase at the end, but these sections in his body light up as well, down the thigh area and down the arms as well. So the overall impact when the lights are dimmed on this is very, very good. And as I said before, not being the world's biggest fan of light up features, but I think it works with this piece. So there you have it, folks. That's the fully illuminated Tron light cycle from Tron Legacy, and I still think, as I say, holds up today. Beautifully sculpted. Yes, if it was done today, it would be USB-C powered. However, if you can get over the button cell battery issue, the light up features are really, really good as well. So yeah, I still think this amazing piece holds up today. So that's the second of our runners and riders. On to the final and the third. Okay, folks, so it's time for our third and final contender in the Go Figure MotoGP, and it is none other than the legendary Yaba Kusanagi from the, when was Cyberpunk 2077 released? Cast my mind back here. I think the game was released around about 2020 with all its faults. I'm still invested in it today, but yeah, great video game once it was fixed, and Pure Arts gave us their take on the Yaba Kusanagi back in 2021. We got him flanked here by V and Johnny Silverhand, courtesy Hot Toys, V courtesy of Pure Arts, but we're here to see the bike. And what a piece of work Pure Arts have given us. Let's take a quick look around it. Both hands needed for this one. Weight-wise, well, this comes in, it's slightly heavier than the Hot Toys Tron Light Cycle, but nowhere near as heavy as the Akira, the BM Projects Akira bike. That most certainly has the most die-cast, but there is die-cast in this as well. Vast majority here, though, is sculpted plastic, but first impressions, can't really give first impressions, but I still think this is a phenomenal piece of work from Pure Arts. I think the screen accuracy, the paint applications, which we'll get to, it's all there. I think it's an amazing piece of work, but let's have a wander around. Let's start at the back. These tyres, we started with the tyres before, let's go with tyres again. Solid rubber tyres, great to see, and it's the detailing on these tyres that really sets them apart from the wonderful tread and that fantastic, if the light's catching this, the dirt marks, there's dirt splatter all over this, and it's the weathering on this bike as well, which really sets it apart. It's weathered all over, as you can see here, that those dirt splatters are continued from those beautiful tyres onto the rims themselves. You've got this super high gloss paint application on the rims, which is continued throughout the chassis, the fairing, the whole of the body there, and that weathering just pretty much everywhere, mud spatters everywhere. But there's also scratching on the paintwork to indicate wear, and that's one of the things I really love about this, is the attention to detail and that weathering. The whole body is beautifully done, mainly, as I say, in sculpted plastic. The casing here on the mechanical sections, beautifully done. It's got all the relevant bits and pieces going on, from the radiation symbol there to all these stickers and so on. And now, once again, as with the Akira bike, the Tetsuo bike, these aren't stickers. These are actually they've been painted or printed onto the chassis and the fairing itself, and the bodywork too. So you're not going to see any peeling or ripping or tearing, which is great to see. And it's just the beautiful paint applications as well that you can pick out here. You've got that sort of rainbow type paint application on sections on the inside there. You've got copper sections here on the piping that runs down into the main body of the bike itself. You've got detailing on the exhaust. Even underneath here, you've got that damage, those silver paint applications to give that impression of wear and tear. And all over this thing is just chock full of fantastic detail. Let's flip it around and take a look at the other side. Pretty much the same story on the other side here. You've got this kickstand going on at the bottom here. This is probably one of my only complaints, and really out of pretty much all of the figures, all of the bikes rather, it's the kickstand that lets it down. This one is a little bit on the loose side, and it was straight out of the box. I've had this since new. It's a plastic kickstand, it's a bit ineffectual, and it's a little on the loose side. A lesson there to all 6-scale bike manufacturers: put all this wonderful detailing in and then go and drop the ball with the kickstand. But it is what it is, and I can live with it. And once again, that detailing there, if you played the game, you will recognize this bike, and they've captured all those small details beautifully. Every place you look, there is something new to see, from the red painted springs, and that's actually a metal spring, that suspension spring on the interior there, beautiful. It says Yaba or Yaba on the chassis there, and everywhere you look, as I say, beautiful details, beautiful paint applications. Moving up to the front of this bike, the canopy, got a little bit of dust on there, but it probably needs a clean. But you can see once again, those stickers on the canopy look great. You've got that weathering on the front wheel there. And once again, this has got a bit of a suspension action going on, as with the BM projects. It's not massive, you don't get a huge amount of motion there, but there's just enough give in there to give it that feel of that sense of realism. And once again, paint applications around this front wheel are great. It says Aurora there, and you've got more of that beautiful mud spatter effect going on. And the details are just great all over. It does have a light up feature, this one. Oh, and you've even got the reg plate on the back there, and some more weathering on that rear fairing there. Really nicely done. Underneath the bike itself is the battery compartment. No micro screws here. You just get your fingernail under there, flip it off. Pop a couple of AAAs on the inside there, and the button. The button is really well concealed. It's actually right there, but you would never know it was there. But before we get to light up features, just a chef's kiss to the blue paint applications on the inside of this this wheel here. They are really nice. It's been airbrushed blue in there, and it just looks really nice and pops. But yeah, that's the button itself. You hit that button there, and yeah, you probably out of the three bikes, this has got the weakest light up features. Yes, we're under some very strong LEDs, which doesn't help. So we'll see it better in the showcase at the end there. But yeah, you've got two LEDs, and if I can get this to get this camera to get as close as I can in it, you might just be able to catch them. There's an LED on either side there, and two at the front. Yeah, they're not the brightest in the world, but they do the job. And you get a brake light at the back as well. So yeah, perhaps, and there's some lights on the inside there of the fairing. If the camera's catching this, I'll try and get this a little bit closer so you can see that. Yeah, on the top of the tank there, and underneath that fairing you get some light up effects as well. Probably out of the three, this is the weakest with the light up effects, but as I mentioned on numerous occasions, not something that Mr. Go Figure uses on a regular basis. So yeah, not the best of the three regarding light up features. Yeah, you even get a little bit of give in the suspension at the back as well, as you can see there. And this is the beauty of the engineering here. You'll see that spring moving, and you'll see the sides moving here. We've even got a functioning suspension as well. So there you have it, folks. That is pure art's take on the legend that is Yaba Kusanagi. So we need to go in for a final verdict on these three. Which one is going to be the Go Figure MotoGP winner? Let's go over to the judges. Okay, folks, so it's time to decide the final winner of the Go Figure MotoGP. Let's start on the left and go over the good and bads. We'll start with the iconic Akira bike, the Tetsuo's bike from the legendary anime that is Akira. And I've got a super soft spot for that particular movie, for the anime and the manga. Grew up on it as a child. Landing this was something very special. It was a personal grail that I've been after for years. The fact that I managed to get the revival as well made it all the more sweet, and it is a stunning piece of work. The heaviest of the three. It's got the most die cast. I think it is simply stunning. From that beautiful red, deep red, shiny paint application to the stickers themselves, which aren't really stickers. Even the light up features. Yes, you heard me right. Mr. Go Figure loves the light up features on this. We're looking at this one first because this thing's on a timer as well. And if you leave it sat there and don't do anything with it, these lights will go off. So we're going to focus on this one first. And worth mentioning at this point as well, we won't be having a showcase at the end of this video as usual. This will have to suffice as the showcase because I don't have a case big enough to display all three of these in. But yeah, from those solid rubber tires to the beautiful attention to detail and those fantastic light up features, I think it's just phenomenal. We've got Tetsuo himself stood by the bike. He's not in the bike, not because he doesn't fit or because there are any issues there. It's just that pleather in his outfit that I don't want to damage, and it is very delicate. And putting any pressure on him by getting him into a riding pose could jeopardize the integrity. But overall, I think the Tetsuo's bike from Akira is a phenomenal piece of work from BM Projects. It's going to be a tough decision, this one. I have set myself a task. Let's move on to Hot Toys' take on the light cycle from Tron Legacy. The lightest of the three, well, it's about the same weight, probably just slightly lighter than the Kusanagi, but I still think for its age, this has held up incredibly well. Those black, super shiny paint applications are great. The screen accuracy is nailed on. The attention to detail is wonderful. Yes, there are some gripes here. The button cell batteries are always going to be a ball ache. Any one of these three could benefit from being USB-C powered. Getting those batteries into that helmet, getting them into that back compartment are an absolute nightmare. But once it's lit up, it looks stupendous, and it captures that spirit of the movie brilliantly. I think the detailing, the sculpting, the paint applications are all brilliant, even down to that Garrett Hedlund head sculpt in there and that illuminated helmet. It would be phenomenal if we would see Hot Toys give us their rendition of the Tron Ares light cycle. I think the upgrade would be great to see. Yeah, it's not the best film in the world, but I think the design bods over at Disney had a field day, and the new light cycle looks really, really stunning, so it would be great to see one of those. But until that arrives, or if it arrives, we will have to make do with this, and I still think it is an incredible piece today. And finally, the Yaba Kusanagi, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, we've got V sat on the Kusanagi here because yeah, as people who probably got this bike and this figure will know, getting him to actually sit on there in a riding pose is damn near impossible. It just doesn't work. The articulation in the body, the ab crunch required, and the design of the bike means the best you can get is him sat on it like he is now. But the strong points of the Kusanagi, it's the attention to detail here that Pure Arts have put in. Every inch of this thing has been given TLC. If it's not weathering, then it's that mud splatter, then it's those beautiful paint applications, those decals, the attention to detail and the screen accuracy next to the game are second to none, and I think it's some of Pure Art's best work here. Absolutely love the Yaba Kusanagi. I think it looks amazing, and all three of these lined up look simply superb, so we need to pick a winner. Now this is where things get very, very difficult. I think they all stand up brilliantly. I think they're all amazing pieces of work, and they all deserve to win. And I was tempted to call this a tie because I have all three in the collection, and I wouldn't give any of them up. However, to force myself into making a decision, I said, which one would I not would be first rescued in a fire, let's put it that way. And I've got to say, it was very close. The Kusanagi came third. It was a tie between the Hot Toys light cycle and the Akira, but I could only rescue one. So personally, I'm gonna go with the BM Projects bike. The Popinica is going to win for me. I'm not saying it's better than the other two. They've all got their strong points and they've all got their weak areas. But just for me, just simply for the pure iconic value of this particular bike, this would have to be the winner for me. But damn, that is not an easy choice. That's probably one of the hardest choices I've ever had to make on the channel. So there you have it, folks. Twist my arm, and it's Tetsuo's bike from Akira. But they're all winners for me. And if it was my choice, I would keep all three, and that's what I'm going to do. So there you have it, folks. That is, you've had the BM Projects bike, you've had the Hot Toys bike, and the Kanedas bike. What are your thoughts on these three? Do you have any in your collection? Do you have all three? Which ones do you prefer? Are you not a collector of 6-scale vehicles at all? Do none of these float your boat? What are your thoughts on the source material, on the movies that they come from, or the video games that they come from? I would be fascinated to hear your take on these three. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, there's plenty more 1/6 scale reviews, new figures coming in all the time from Hot Toys, Pure Arts, Susu Toys, X06, Mars Toys, Iconic Studios, Talking Iconic Studios. The next big one coming in for review is the Connor McLeod from Highlander, Christopher Lambert. That will be with us very, very soon indeed. So stay tuned for that. But we've also got plenty more showcases, retro reviews, Grail or Fails, and this kind of versus stuff going on. And a new tour video coming up very soon as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I suppose all that remains for me to say is from myself, from Cyberpunk 2077, from from Tron Legacy, and from Akira, a massive thank you for watching, as always. And until next time on the channel, take care of yourselves and happy collecting.